Tonight on Wolf Tracks. The Great Quake of 2001 shook SK, along with the rest of the region. We've got exclusive SK coverage. Drop in on a great class where students use water balloons to learn the intricacies of physics. And find out the secret to the success of the SK band. All that and more, tonight on Wolf Tracks.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Wolf Tracks. Our first story is on the major earthquake that rocked the Puget Sound area a few weeks ago. Our cameras were rolling to capture the event. Let's take a look.
You've all seen the news footage of Seattle when the 6.8 earthquake hit our region on Wednesday, February 28th. But what you haven't seen is the footage from right here in Port Orchard. In filming this episode, our cameras caught the real-life drama and turned our hosts into the unexpected actors. For many years, we here at SK have been training for such incidents. Nearly every month, staff and students are tested in their preparedness by participating in drills. But what happens when the real thing occurs? We found that out at 10:55 on February 28th, when the ground began to shake.
Good God!
I was in the theater at the time of the earthquake, and it was really scary because there was all the lights and all the speakers flying over us, and they were shaking, and I seriously thought I was going to die. But it's all right. We were all okay.
At first I thought someone just messing with me, like, pushed me around, and all of a sudden I look over my friend and his chair's just jumping off the ground, and I ducked under the table, and everyone else was just kind of freaking out.
Jumped under our table, we just kind of huddled under there, and then we all just ran out in a panic.
Most everyone we spoke to reported that in their classrooms, everyone used the proper duck and cover method. However, some inevitable panic did occur.
I didn't know what was going on. It was really scary because we haven't had an earthquake in a long time, and just everything started shaking, and everyone was getting so panicked. It was really scary, and everyone just ran because somebody yelled run, and we just ran. We didn't even think about precautions.
Although no one was injured, the staff and students at South Kitsap learned a valuable lesson. Preparedness can save lives, and they most likely did in numerous situations during the earthquake. The emergency action plan put into place after the quake was very effective. However, now that the staff knows what worked and what didn't, improvements can be made to make South Kitsap even safer.
I mean, it was cooperation from the students was really, really good. There's a few things that need to be, kind of taken care of and need to fix a little bit better on them. Other than that, I thought it was a great job everybody did.
Joe, what are you doing? Don't you know there's an earthquake?
I'm busy right now.
Head for the hill!
This physics stuff is pretty interesting.
When you hear the word physics, what usually comes to mind? Just the mere thought of physics is enough to make even the smartest students have a panic attack. But wait till you see this. Students are actually having fun with physics.
Yeah, the physics class is a lot of fun. He teaches us a lot about it, and he doesn't just sit here and lecture all the time.
Yeah, it's lots of fun. Mr. Ness makes it lots of fun with all the labs and stuff we do, and it's really easy.
Now, when we were younger, just the thought of seeing a teacher conduct an experiment in front of the class was considered pretty wild. But nowadays, students don't just watch their instructors do demonstrations all day. They actually get the chance to have some hands-on experience, which are both fun and educational. On February 12th, students got to use the skills they've learned in physics to make their very own catapult. The stipulation? Students received extra credit if they could hit Mr. Ness with a water balloon 20 yards away.
I think it was a pretty awesome project. I think it's probably the coolest one I've done ever because I've never before gotten to build like a giant catapult and shoot stuff at a teacher. And that was just like my crowning achievement, you know.
From the way things look, it seems like physics is looking to lose its stereotype of being a difficult and boring class. And with projects like the one seen here, it seems like physics is being associated with a different type of word.
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
It's way fun, dude.
Yeah, the physics class is a lot of fun.
Man, that physics story was awesome, dude.
Yeah, who cares? I can't wait for the next one because it's all about me. By the way, Zach, I was wondering, do I look better in real life or on the TV?
Let's just watch the next story. I'm sure he'll love it.
Seems like the only people recognized at South are the teachers and athletes. But what about the other 2,000 students who are just left in the dust? Why doesn't anyone ever notice them? There must be someone out there that differs from the normal cup of tea. Only one person comes to mind, Ryan McDermott, star in the video production room, but as for sports, he plays on the other team.
Ryan's important to this class because he really brings a lot of creative energy to the class.
A lot of originality to the work of Wolf Tracks and the video production program.
Ryan has appeared on Wolf Tracks probably more than any other student that I've ever had, and that is because he can do so many things and do them well.
While in the video production room, Ryan helps out in a number of different ways. He's an excellent producer, writer, actor, narrator, photographer, and sports announcer.
Yeah, in the video production class, I like to try really hard because most likely I'm probably going to use it like later in life because I have a passion for video and everything. So I like to try as hard as I can in the class because also it's a lot of fun.
The one thing I would say, though, I would really encourage him to look in areas that really require a lot of creativity because he definitely has a lot of that skill.
Yeah, after I get out of school, I'm definitely gonna go to a four-year college. That's just always been my goal, to go to a four-year college. And then probably when I'm there, I'm probably gonna go to college in a big city and hopefully get like an internship at a news station to just get my feet wet, you know, in the video program. And so.
Let's take a look at a typical Ryan day and see how every day he gets more and more prepared for life after school.
My normal day it's full of adventure and stuff. It's kind of like other people's normal days. Normally I'll just wake up around like 10 o'clock or so and then watch TV for like a few hours. Then usually when I'm not watching TV, I'll be like eating or like playing with my dogs, maybe read a nice good book. Then I usually watch the TV some more until I gotta get off to work. And then I just go to work, you know, just get some money, you know, everyone needs money. And then after work, I come home, then I watch TV for a little longer until I eventually fall asleep and then start over again the next day, you know.
Obviously, as you can see by his daily routine, he's definitely prepping himself for the world of TV. And I personally just can't wait to see this extraordinary cup of tea blossom to his full potential. So in a few years when you're out and about, look for this young lad's name on the big screens, because I can almost guarantee you that's where he'll end up.
Oh, Dave, you got that bomb scare story done yet?
Yep, just got it done. Want to take a look at it?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
School violence and the threat of violence have touched many people's lives. Some people think it will never happen here. A sad fact is the threat of school violence has hit home. Twice this year, South Kitsap High School has been held hostage by threats of violence.
We contacted authorities. We also contacted the district office, talked to the superintendent, told them what we were up against. We went ahead and brought in a bomb dog to sniff out areas just to make sure. We didn't want to take any chances in this day and age. It's better to be safe than to be sorry.
For the first threat, in November, students really took the day in stride. 400 students stayed home, but the day went on as normal. But in February, the second threat, 600 students stayed home, and the tension and security were definitely heightened. What was the difference between the second threat compared to the first threat?
The first threat was specific. It said the gym area at 1 o'clock on a particular day. This one was very, very general. It just basically had described that there'd either be a bomb or someone with a weapon. They didn't know how or why, but they were sure someone was going to die.
The school takes all threats seriously, but when other schools have had threats, they often cancel school for the day. How did the school come to the decision to keep South Kitsap High School open?
These have been within 3 months of each other. This isn't an everyday occurrence here at South Kitsap High School. We felt really good about checking the facility out, thoroughly examining garbage cans underneath desks, realizing that we can't check every single square inch of this 337,000 square foot place we have here. But we felt fairly confident, especially with the bomb dog, that we didn't see anything unusual. We had a plan for the next day, so we felt confident, fairly confident, that school would be safe.
Students who did come to school reacted in a variety of ways.
I think someone's just trying to get attention, just trying to get school canceled so they don't have to go. So I think if it gets ignored this time, they may stop, because this is the second time. So I don't think they're going to do anything.
Actually, I feel like I'm not really that scared about it. I think that the kids are kind of just like trying to get attention and stuff like that. So I'm going to come to school anyways. And my mom kind of wants me to stay home, but I'm not worried about that.
So you're like, are they doing enough to make sure that we're safe?
Definitely, because what else can they do? I mean, besides like having metal detectors at the door, they're having like bomb-sniffing dogs, lots of extra police. They sent out a letter to inform everyone, so if you want to stay home, you can, and things like that. I mean, there's not really much else they can do besides turning this place into like a prison.
To this day, the person or persons responsible have not been caught, but if they are caught, they will face stiff consequences.
It's a very serious consequence, not only with the school of being expelled from school, but the law doesn't play around with that either, and they take it very, very seriously.
If you have any information about these threats or any threats in the future, you should contact a teacher, administrator, or someone you trust.
We'll be right back with more Wolf Tracks after these important messages.
Underneath the route, Ralph turns around, jumper.
Hey! Those guys are talking smack!
G-L-Y, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly! You ugly!
What?
What?
Guys are talking smack! Hey, that's not nice. It's not fair.
SK power! SK power! SK power! SK power! SK power! SK power!
Mackenzie, don't give me that look. I know you were trying to steal that car. Mackenzie, don't give me that look. Mackenzie, I know you were trying to steal that car. Mackenzie.
I stole it. I stole that car. I'm sorry.
And now, back to Wolf Tracks.
Our next story is about the South Kitsap Band program. Sorry. Speaking of music, check out the SK Band story.
It's a Thursday night here at the Kinsland Gymnasium, and the energy level of the student body is tremendous. Enormous intensity, immense enthusiasm, and finely tuned instruments. That's right, we're not talking about the very talented cheerleaders or the superstar Wolves basketball players. No, we're talking about the instructor and students of the SK Band program. The music program here at South Kitsap High School is one of pride, spirit, and heart. With nearly 75 students enrolled, we asked second-year instructor Rob Lewis just how many bands are within the curriculum and what types of music do they perform.
We have 2 bands that are concert-oriented, a jazz band, a pep band that plays at the football games and basketball games, and then we do some parade marching in the springtime, which is really all of the students that are involved in the instrumental music program.
The various bands have participated in festivals such as the Clark College Jazz Festival, North Kitsap Jazz Festival, and the Lionel Hampton Jazz Festival in Idaho during the 2000-2001 school year. And with it only being his second year here at South, we asked Rob Lewis how his new position has been.
It's been really nice. The staff and students have been really kind, which is nice to see, especially in a school that's this large.
Rob Lewis entered the program in 1999 after 7-year band instructor Mr. Smith retired. And during 1999, South was facing the adversity of a levy failure. Dramatic cutbacks were made in nearly every program, including music.
More than anything, it impacted the morale of the students. The students here are pretty bright. They understand the consequences and some of the problems that arise from not having levy passage.
Even with the misfortune of the levy, the members of the band program appear unfazed in SK spirit.
The levies hadn't passed for a while, so actually we're doing pretty good.
It's going okay, but we have to shell out a lot more money for our trips and stuff, and that's a pain in the butt for poor folk like me. And but we're still making good music and having fun doing it.
Now with the recent levy passing, the band program seems to be in full momentum with more funding.
Hopefully the district will make that move, and they've shown that they're going to show some support, so that's really fun to look forward to, and that'll really help things move along. We'll be able to achieve the next levels of performance.
With backing of the pro-orchard community, it looks as if the program is back on track.
Jeneane and I recently got to visit the Discovery Alternative High School. We met up with some amazing teenage girls who juggle school with parenting. Let's take a look at how they're preparing for their positive future.
There's no doubt that we teens are bombarded with a lot nowadays. The constant running around, leading our busy and interesting lives. So much is on our minds that stress is bound to be a constant thing. But what if you had to deal with just one more thing? Meet Celine and her 16-year-old mother, Rachel. Rachel is your typical busy teen with her own set of responsibilities. Plus, her day begins and ends with her 12-month-old daughter.
Sometimes when I get stressed out with Celine and I go, I need a break if I don't take it out on her, my parents will be there and help me with her and stuff, so I like them there to help me out because sometimes I really do get really frustrated and I don't want to take it out on her.
Rachel is definitely not alone in this. In a national survey of 1,000 girls between the ages of 15 through 19, 50 give birth annually. The good news is that this number has dropped from 60 in 1991. Still, teens are lost in what to do and how to handle their new situation. They don't know how to get the help they need to deal with the new stress. Enter the South Kitsap School District's Discovery Alternative School. Here classes are offered to pregnant teens to help them through their 9 months. And once a child is born, classes continue in parenting skills, future goals, and stress coping. Penny McFarland has been part of the class for 7 years.
There are 2 different classes, actually. There's one that's a child development class, and we focus on all the different aspects of raising children and pregnancy. And then the other class is called an early Head Start class. It's like an exploring childhood class where half the class is in the lab, and they're taking care of their own children.
Penny has seen the positive influence the Discovery School has shown.
What kind of education they get, it's really their choice. We're here as a support group. We try to offer as much as we can. Some of our students truly take advantage of that and flourish. They blossom into wonderful parents that you'd admire and say, wow, that's really a good parent.
Rochelle is also a member of Discovery and has a 3-month-old baby boy.
Your whole life's going to change like right away, you know? Your whole life changed right when that baby's born. You know, your whole life is different. Everything's different.
Rachel's life has had to change to accommodate her daughter. However, she still has future plans.
I plan to finish school and go to college and get a degree in something I want to do.
These girls are examples of how people can overcome an obstacle with a little help and a little self-discovery.
This is stupid. You know what? I don't need to do this. I'm gonna pass anyway. I'm done.
Well, it looks like it's that time of year again when a mysterious plague sweeps through high schools all across the nation. Let's take a look at this next story.
It happens every year, and it's coming to get you. It's senioritis.
Well, it's not that scary, but it's that time of year again when senioritis starts affecting students here at South. So, what is senioritis, you may ask?
Senioritis is extreme laziness in your senior year, and usually grades drop and teachers get mad at you and your parents too.
Senioritis is about coming out, going to school, you're finally done with high school, and you're tired of just doing everything, so your grades tend to drop a little bit.
You don't want to do work anymore, you really don't want to do anything anymore. Really counting down the days.
Senioritis is when seniors pretty much give up on school and they say, hey, there's no point to it anyway, I've been accepted to this college and I don't need to worry about my grades. So.
Here's an example of senioritis. So, now that you know what it is, how do you know if you have it?
You know you have senioritis if your grades like plummet.
Sleeping in class, not listening to your teacher, you know, normal stuff you don't want to do. You don't want to do your work. You want to get out of school as quickly as possible.
What are the effects of senioritis?
Can be, all kidding aside, signs of anxiety. Like, where am I going to be next fall? What am I going to do? Where am I going to live? What school am I going to go to? How will I pay for it?
A senior kind of flaking out. They're not remembering the goal at the end of the tunnel that June is coming around and they're wanting to get a diploma, but they are so wanting to get out of school that they're forgetting that they need to do some steps and jump through the right hoops to get out of it. And so some kids, their grades drop, they stop attending school, they skip classes.
Treatment. Sometimes I think it's just going out and having a really good weekend. A little relief of pressure.
I think for every year, more and more students are just being affected by it. It's just getting worse as the years go on. More seniors are looking to get out of class as soon as possible, and they just don't want to be here.
Do you have senioritis?
Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I know how many days we have left. We have about, 86 days left of school?
I personally don't have it, but...
I think I have a little touch of senioritis.
I believe I've had senioritis since about the 4th grade.
Well, guys, hang in there. Only 3 more months. 2 weeks, 16 hours, 56 minutes, 23 seconds.
Hey, Kyle. Dude, look what I got here, man.
Wow, is that a real skateboard?
Yeah, I'm learning how to skateboard. It's so fun.
Really? Can you do a 900 nose grab to a wicked crooked grind?
Yeah, man, who can't? And I learned it all at that new skate park, dude. It's so fun. It's awesome.
It's high noon. Sweat beads from the top of his brow. The valorous young man looks down at his perilous challenge. But the end holds only one truth. If he lands, honor, glory, splendor, knowledge. If he fails, it's off to the river to meet Charon and sail to the land of the dead. Well, actually, there's a new skate park in Port Orchard, and probably none of the skaters take it that seriously, but all the kids seem to love it.
I love the new skate park. Since it's open, I'll probably have to go visit it someday and see the new skateboarders.
Right now, this new skate park might not look like that much, but it only took a little over a month to build, and each week, it seems like it's being improved and becoming a better skate park for skaters to enjoy.
Well, they recently added the vert wall and the pyramid with the ledge going down it for the contest. And anything after that, the park's continually changing, so it's all as it comes, as it goes kind of thing.
With a park of this magnitude, the funds to build it had to come from somewhere.
Some funding came from the Kitsap Sports, but not. The majority of it came from Eric Zetti and his other company, BC Communications, up in Bremerton. It's a long-distance and cellular company, so that's where a lot of the funding came from.
It's not just a skate park. It's also a place for local bands to come play their music, and an overall fun place to hang out.
Community hasn't had a problem really skating downtown for some time, for like 4 years since we built the other park. But recently they've had complaints about the neighbors here, the other shop owners don't like the noise and the skateboards banging into the walls, but it's something they deal with and they kind of live with it, so it's not a big deal.
Though the skate park seems busy now, the popularity will change when rainy spring weather shifts into beautiful hot summer weather.
I probably have a preference to outdoors, but living in Washington, you really got no choice at this time of year. You got to skate indoors majority of the time, except for this year. We've had a lot of sunshine, a lot of dry ground. Hasn't been so bad. Skating indoors isn't that bad. It gets really hot really fast, unfortunately. So that's why it's mainly a winter thing. Skate indoors in the winter a lot of times.
I like skating outdoors because there's loading docks. You can do ollies off of them. It's pretty gnarly.
Because if it's raining, you can just go to the indoor skate park and not have the ground be wet and slip.
The new skate park isn't just for young adolescent males with entirely too much testosterone. It's a place for everyone to just hang out, enjoy the happiness of being together.
Well, that's it for tonight's episode of Wolf Tracks, and we'll all see you next time. Thanks for watching.